So, I've seen churches that claim to have killed a witch bird, but the witch did not die. So, if a bird were to turn to a witch, if you kill the bird, what happened to the witch? The witch should die. How come the bird is busy dying and the witch is not dying? So the theory of a witch bird is a lie. Can I shock you again? Can I shock you? We are just starting. The things I didn't tell you on Sunday. You want me to go deeper? Witch don't fly. Witch don't fly. I say what? Now, let me tell you why you would argue with me now that witch fly. I want to give you an assignment now. Imagine that you are seeing God here now. God Almighty here. And he's standing. Okay, close your eyes. Those of you online also, close your eyes. Just by your imagination that you are seeing God here. You are seeing God on the altar. And God is just standing, looking at us and smiling. Open your eyes. With no doubt, every one of you saw a white man. Is that not so? Why can't God be a black man? Those of you online, confirm. Are we online now? With no doubt, all of you online also, you saw a white man. Why can't God be a black man? That's number one. Number two, I want to be telling you the things you saw. Number two you saw is you saw white bears. How many of you? Why didn't you see black bears? Number three, you saw white clothes. Why didn't you see red clothes? Why didn't you see red clothes? Then some of you will see like gold sandal and all those kind of things. Why didn't you see just palm or half shoe? You know why? Because over the years, a lie has been told to you. Because God has no physical form. So you've seen those posters. They've registered on your head. So every time you think about God, those are the things you see. If not for when I started teaching about angels, before you came here, when I say, see an angel, you imagine those small children with big bomb and pampers and bow and arrow. Is that not so? And you begin to ask yourself when you get here that, can this thing really save me? Why? Because this has been your imagination of those things. So over the years, it has been their imagination that witch fly. Are you already getting what I'm saying? I'll still bring you plenty facts. And most of the imagination, they come from the white man land. So the white man brought broom, sat on it, and said, witch fly. So the black man wanted to modernize it very well. He said, we have feather. I'll tell you something now. A witch can from Nigeria go to the US. A witch will sleep from 12 or from 10. Go to meeting by 12. Come back by 3. So from 12 to 3 is how many hours? 3 hours, right? And the witch went from Nigeria. The witch went to America. Killed somebody. Then come back. Or operate there, then come back. So to and fro is inside 3 hours. Are you stupid? How long is the flight to America? How much is the flight to America? Economy alone takes from 500,000 to 700, depending on the airline. Some from 700 to 800. Some economy, from 500 to 550. So, but nothing less than 500 upward, as at the last time I checked. Some of this journey that these witches go, it take a day on a normal note. Our daughter Adura here was traveling to the Philippines, And she would have to stop somewhere, I think in Kenya, then continue. Then a witch fly like this. Will now get to America, operate the same night, now fly back. Now sleep. What is wrong with you? Witches don't fly. The fastest thing that fly is what? Aeroplane or jet. What happens is they can teleport. So they are inside their room. In the spirit, there are no distance. So inside their room, they appear in America. That's why they can do everything within 3 hours and come back. But to them, even some of them told them, their imagination have taught they fly. So they think they can fly. I've never seen a bird, even eagle, that is as fast as jet. That's as fast as a rocket. Yet a jet would still take some of this journey 8 hours. Then a witch, just imagine doing your feather like this, your hand like this. Then you get to America in 3 hours. Then you come back again. No, now. How many of you already get this lie? It's a lie. We just got these things from the white man. So instead, they teleport, which is disappearing. Or I can be here physically. The same way I'll tell you, can I go to your house? And you are looking at me and I've gone. These are vehicles in the spiritual realm. That's why I'll say, I take a spiritual chariot. You are looking at me and I've traveled. This is how witches go. Just like I say, Papa, say, can I go there? I say, yes. Then you now fly. Before I reach Enugu, they have closed service. But over the years, it is registered in their head. So you too say, they fly. Some of you now are asking, how come those that they catch on roof? Have you heard the story? That they saw some on roof. Remember that when a witch leaves for meeting, the body is on the bed. Who did they now see on the roof? Ask your question. No, you asked me a question. How about those they saw on the roof? So the body is on the bed. Now they caught the one on the roof with the body. Who did they now see on the roof? That's why 99.9% of everybody you see as a witch, and those that speak and say, I am a witch, they are innocent. Totally innocent. So this is how the devil does it. By the time the real witch in your house want to confess, he look for the innocent. Pour all his or her experience on the innocent. Then the innocent confess. Then you kill the innocent because you are not spiritual. .9% of everybody that say they are witches, they are totally innocent. Have you seen them in synagogue? Where they will bring somebody and they say she's a witch, and the person say, I am a witch. The person conclude. Then at the tail end of it, you realize that this one is innocent. One of my sons told me that he sponsored somebody to go to the synagogue, and the person went. And the person was saying, Papa is saying the truth. Oh. Everything here is like redeem. Oh. Everything here is like mountain of fire. There's no difference. You will be looking for the idol. Yet, see how they spoil that man's name. So the real kingpin of all these things, they are still in your house. Then they bring the innocent. It has happened to one of my sisters. I was really angry because I didn't have understanding of it. She was my half sister. And she was inside. They accused her of being a witch, and she too said she was a witch. I was not even born again. I think I was about like maybe 14 years. And they accused her of being a witch. They locked her indoor. Igbagbodun. In fact, my father felt so sorry that he had to return the name back to one of his grandchildren. So they locked her in somewhere and they accused her of being witch. And she said she was a witch. And they stabbed her there and she died. After dying, they threw her away. After like 10 years, we found out that the real witch, one of them, wanted to die and say, I want to die, but I want to go to my grave in peace. He said, we made her confess. She's innocent. And that one had already swollen very well. I said, now God is fighting me. Some of you saw some people in your dream and you conclude that they are witches. Not knowing that the real witches are not as dumb as you think. They'll never come with their face because they know you know them. So they come with somebody that needs your love. So that person appear before you. And to you, you feel as if you have caught the witch that is fighting you. 99.9% of everybody you would ever see in your dream that is doing you, they are innocent. The real devil is somewhere, it's still somewhere. Are we learning? So witches. Now, I'm not saying that the devil does not have the power to transform to anything he wants. Remember, the case study here is witch. I'm not saying they don't have the power to transform to whatever they want. What I'm saying is, if they've ever transformed, by the time you kill that thing they transformed to, they should die. I've seen churches that say witch bed fell on the church, and the witch is still there. It's a lie. That bed ate something. While some of them, they package it. One of my sons here was telling me how somebody told him, come and learn this spiritual work. This night, I'll blow your mind. While somebody say, come and learn this spiritual work, how we make witch bed fall. They'll bury some things. These things are science. They bury some things around that geographical area. And when the bed come down to a certain altitude, the bed fall down, bam. And they say, witch bed. And they will rejoice about it and announce it. Have you noticed the bed they always call witch bed, they are black? Have you noticed that? Can I shock you? In the realm of the spirit, black is not evil. And darkness is not evil. Darkness is the absence of... Darkness in the realm of the spirit is the absence of... what will I call it now? Sunesis. Is the absence of knowledge. When a man is filled with knowledge, is filled with light. How come African gospel now turn darkness to evil? Or black to evil. Then white to what? To light. Then some churches, if you are fair, you need deliverance. If you're a lady, you are pretty, you have a corn. Then if you are black, you're a witch. And they'll tell you, Lojewo, what you did to your mother. And they're saying it in the presence of your mother. Go and confess. And your mother is looking at you. And you too, you are confused. What did that? What? Give the prophet a slap, he will see well. Are you getting what I'm saying? So these things, over the years, they are lies that have become true. Think about it. How does a witch fly? 3 hours. You go to America, come back. Inside that 3 hours, and still sleep before we manage to catch her. How? It's not possible. So it would have been that their spirit travel because there's no distance in the spirit. Their spirit travel. Only spirit can do that. And how does it do it? Spirit does not need to fly. When I say I take a spiritual chariot to your house, I am not flying. By the time I say I take a spirit, I'm already there. I think it happened here. Where's the guy? The guy I was prophesying to. I think we were just joking. He's not in church. I was just passing. I said, how are you? Just this afternoon. I said, how are you? I said, I'm seeing this house. The front is not plastered. This social place. By the right, I see this, I see that. How many of you were here in church? And he said, yes, that's my house. Did I fly? I was just passing like this. I said, how are you? I'm seeing this house. Because my spirit traveled. How come you not say which fly? From here to Canada. From here to China. Then fly back. You want to kill the witch? Pity the feather. Even birds, when they are migrating, some of them migrate as much as 3 months. Some migrate as much as 1 month. And they will go to places and relax. Is that not so? They will fly, they will relax, and they'll fly. Then this auntie go to Asia. Come back in 3 hours. So she didn't fly. It is called teleport. Pa! Appear there. The moment they disappear here, because they must exist on earth, the moment they disappear, papa, it's faster than how I describe it. Should I change this topic? I think I'm getting too deep. But I want to open your eyes. Prophet has scammed you. Prophet, don't scam you now. You are now suspecting me. And I'm the one you are not giving money. So that's teleport. And most times these prophets use it to preach gospel of fear to you. So if you were to see a witch, just like I said, look at God or envision God. You saw him white man, right? Then you saw him with white beards. Then wearing white. Is that also? So if I say, see a witch this night now, what will you see? Because over the years, all your head have said they fly. So you see them flying. Do you understand that now? The second one. There's nowhere in the Bible that supports washing of head or bathing. Hear me. The way we do it, there's nowhere in the Bible that supports it. The way prophets do it, there's nowhere in the Bible that supports it. Now, in Leviticus 15, Leviticus 16, Leviticus 19, it speaks about cleansing. And what do they do in the cleansing? They wash the feet, they wash the hand. Sometimes they sprinkle water to purify people. Now, how do churches now do it? Churches now, they get local sponge. Then they put a black soap inside. Then they tell you, go and bathe. In their bathroom. That's number one. I know all these things. Number two, they get a local sponge. They get a soap that they pound by themselves. Then they tell you they need to bathe you. But they don't necessarily bathe boys. Some of you have been baited. And the prophet is baiting you. The guy is doing like this. Men know, you will get it when you get home. He's in the spirit baiting you and he's doing like this. He's baiting you like, let him stand like this. You see all his secret. Bloody liar. So they carry you. They bait you. Some of you, they carry you by the river. They bait you. Leviticus, wash the feet, the hand, sometimes sprinkle water. That can be done in front of the church. How come you are? Have you seen some churches? They have a specially made bathroom. Then they give you the soap. And then they say, go and bathe. Then you two tie towel, efu. Do you know, my people perish for lack of knowledge. You two, you tie towel. Then inside the water, they put some things. They say Saint Michael, Saint Gabriel. And those things are alcohol. So they put it. Some of you know what I'm saying. Some of you are, in fact, your problem now is the rate at which you have bathed. My God. So they pour the Saint Michael inside, pour the Saint Gabriel, then they give you a soap. They say, go and bathe. Then you go and bathe, thinking that you are delivered. I was born in a church, and I grew up in a church where that was what we did, always. That's what we did. And I was, all my house was filled with prophets, that I was those small children that they'll send, Lokmomiwa. I was those small children that they will send, that will know the truth about what they are doing. One time, fire cashed from inside water. And we knew. That's why recently, I saw some prophets bringing out fire. And the fire will not catch offering, no. It will never, I must talk all around. The fire will never catch offering. It will catch prayer point. So they now bring prayer point. They now bring the fire. I've seen all that. I grew up knowing that in white garment. I grew up knowing it. So when you are trying to scam me, we that don't wear white garment like this, we are just learning things that has expired there. A certain prophet, they told me, they say, in dimension high now. I said, what does it say? Hey, you don't know. Now they call down fire. I laugh. I say, how many times? They say, 2 times or 3 times you don't call down fire. And the guy was speaking with so much boldness. So much. Do you know who God is? So God, you'll be calling down fire 2 times. Elijah in the Bible called it once. Your prophet called down fire 3 times. Okay. Miguel. I'm very intelligent. You don't use my head. I know waiting day. So I asked the guy, I said, how did this your prophet call down fire? He said, the fire just burst. I said, is it in the offering? He said, no, in prayer point. I knew what I was doing. He said, they submit prayer point. I said, okay. Submit prayer point, okay. Now, let me tell you how those prophets bring down fire from prayer point. How many of you want to know? Go and look for potassium permanganate. By the time you get potassium permanganate, mix it with water. Naturally, it will erupt fire. That's number 1. Number 2, potassium permanganate and sugar. You shake it. It brings out fire. Now, I'm not saying a prophet cannot call down fire. Hear me. Okay, let me finish this story. And as this guy was bragging, our prophet there, our prophet there, So I described how the fire went. I said, so the fire started like this, like disco lights. He said, man of God, you don't see the video? I said, no, make I tell you first. Because I wanted to discern every spirit. Because potassium permanganate burn like disco light. It will do so. I said, is it like that? I described it via the phone. And he said, yes, that's what you do. The 3 times that's what you do. I said, okay, I don't hear. I didn't want to tell him that he's prophet. So I said, I don't hear. Now, how do they do it? They have agents inside. Those agents, they will now tell every one of you, bring your prayer point. Hear me. I'm not saying God cannot bring down fire. It's biblical. They'll tell every one of you to bring down your prayer point. By the time you bring your prayer point and come in a program, They will now put potassium. One of their agents has mixed potassium permanganate inside paper. So every one of you are submitting your prayer point. As you submit it, they will now carry water. Thank you. You see, protocols always drop water here. All of them, go and check this video. Go to YouTube and type "Prophet call down fire." Or go to Facebook, type it, you see it. All of them will hold fire, hold water like this. God of Elijah, God of Elijah, God of Elijah. Oh man, they'll now open this thing. By the time they open the water, they'll now pour it. Where? Inside the prayer point. They'll now wait the prayer point. If the prayer points are too much and the water could not get to it, they'll bring another water again. They'll pour it to you. Then you now begin to see small smoke. When they've seen it, they'll now throw away their face. Their agent drop it there, potassium permanganate. By the time they do like this, they have seen the smoke. The eruption will fire come. Then you people will run. That's number one. The second way they start a fire, potassium permanganate and sugar. They carry it. The agent will shake it very well. They will shake it and shake it and shake it and shake it. By the time they shake it very, very well, the thing will begin to erupt. They will not put it inside the prayer point. Then they will not cover it. I think one popular prophet, one time, he did it. And this one is a man of God. I don't know why he did that. This one is a man of God. Why did he do it? Most times they do it not because they are fake, but because they want to stay on the news. They want you to keep talking about them and stay on the news. So when you tell somebody now that, come to my church, they will not come. But when you say, my pastor called down fire, they'll follow you. Mo go see them. So this is why they are doing this. And it's calm. So then I remember, Woli will tell us, go and bring water, I'll bring the water. They'll do some things. They'll throw it on the water. He said, if this water catch fire, Adura etigba. They'll not carry potassium permanganate. They'll not throw it on it. You now see it will not erupt. Say, ma dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ orí ẹ̀. Ma dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìṣẹ̀dá mi mo ma dúpẹ́. Orí mi mo ma dúpẹ́. And I'll just be in one corner, I'll be like, it's a lie. Are we here? Hear this. I did not say that God cannot call down fire. I say scam. The same way, bathing you, washing your head, there's no need for that. Can we open Titus, the book of Titus 3 verse 5? From the table, Titus 3 verse 5. It says scam. It says scam. I would have even said scam, church do. As this thing. It says scam. Titus 3 verse 5. Okay, can we read together? I want to go. He saved us, not because of any works of righteousness that we are done, but because of his pity and mercy, by the cleansing of the new birth, regeneration, and renewing of what? Can we read another version? Another version. Another version. Okay, let's read together. He saved us from all that. We had nothing to do with it. He gave us a good bait. Who gave us? No, Woli gave us a good bait. Huh? Did I write Woli there? Did I write priest there? Did I write pastor there? Who gave us a good bait? Okay. He gave us a good bait. And we came out of it, new people, washed inside and out by the Holy Spirit. Amplified say regeneration. It means you are baited once and what? For all. That's why there's no need for cleansing. Because we are baited once and for all. Now Woli carry you. He bait you. After he bait you finish, then Woli begin to send you message. Hey, my love, have you eaten? And say, he's harmless. You go born baby. Now, Woli has seen things. You know, there are some things you see, you can't recover again. Woli was in the spirit. You know? Oh my God. Hey. Some of you have flashed Woli. All manner. Woli have seen some fair. Then Woli get home, he's trying to pray. And he's seen, and the Woli is saying, hey, my general, he said. Then the next time you are coming for spiritual work, Woli say, don't worry, because of you, because I love you, I'll do it for you free. Now lie you. Now lie. Only one you. You will get it when you get home. So it's a lie. Even the menstruation is not in New Testament. Where they say somebody see menstruation. Why? We are washed and we are clean once and what? For all. We are clean. Titus 3 verse 5. We are clean once and for all. We are never seen unclean anymore. He said we are washed inside and out by what? The Holy Spirit. Where did the doctrine come from? Where you sit outside. After you sat outside, then you go through purification. After going through purification, then before you now go and meet the congregation, if it's according to the old covenant, even the man that do nakanaki overnight, him too is not purified. In the Old Testament, why do we now stigmatize women? And we keep women outside. And no Lusha, just inside the room. No. And they come outside like that. Oh, Lusha too should be outside. Share this my video to them. You don't tackle me with Bible. I say what I know. And most of all these Olusha, they invited them there. I was born there. Olusha fire. Fire the wife. According to the old covenant, 2 of them are unclean. Some Olusha fire people's wife and come to the altar. Some Woli fire people's wife. Some prophet fire people's wife and come to the altar. Because they know. But now they are following doctrine because Benye Lasheri. That is how we met it. That is how we should live it. Now they don't care about what the Bible is saying anymore. That we are washed once and what? So why do you leave women outside? Women are unclean. Just for menstruating, a natural thing. And Yahoo boys are inside the church. Women are unclean. Some boys who sleep with women, they will not bathe. They will come to church. Then why do we stigmatize women? It's a stigma on women. For what God gave you naturally, that even prove that you are healthy. If you do not see your menstruation, you go to the hospital. You see that something has happened to you or you have happened to something. This children. Some of you now are praying that may something just happened to me. May I not happen to something, no? I cannot be explaining what I don't know. You go to the hospital. Now you are menstruating. And they put you outside and they say you are unclean. Once and for all. That's why the veil of the temple divide. Meaning everybody can come. That's why you will never see a priest sprinkling water on you like this and say, I want to cleanse you. We are cleansed what? Once and what? For all. So it's a scam. However, even if it's a scam, God can still lead you to do it. But when God is leading you to do it to everybody, it's a scam. But God can lead you to do it to one person. I will explain further when we go up again. Number 3, the third one, deliverance. Deliverance. Can we speak? Can I speak? Deliverance. Okay? It's a process of compelling spirit or subjecting spirit that affects a man or a place, that affect the flesh, affect an area to live, a person to live. That's deliverance. The spirit that came into the man came to what? To kill, which is the flesh, to steal, and to destroy. Is that not so? These are the motive of the devil: to kill, to steal, and to destroy. So the devil does not care about your flesh. In fact, the devil is more angry with you, with your flesh, because you are in the image of God. So he has a special problem with you for your flesh. So the demon does not care. The Bible says Jesus met a man in Gennesaret. The man would tear himself, cut himself. They brought a boy that was possessed. The Bible said the boy would put himself inside the fire. Sometimes put himself inside the water. That's to show you how the spirits don't care about your body. Are you here or you went home? Now, when a pastor comes to you and try to do deliverance, and he too is punishing your flesh, that pastor is an evil spirit. Because that's what evil spirits do. Do you know why during deliverance we have ushers to hold people? So that they don't hurt themselves, not to hurt us. Because if the fire of the Lord is in the place, very well. You don't hold a demon because of me. Because it is the fire that followed me that made the demon react at the first place. So if you tell the demon, come, they can make mouth, but they will never come close to me. You don't see the fire, I see the fire. As I speak to you, I look like this. I'm seeing a thick cloud there. So most times when I stand and I say, come, I see the fire. So they don't hold people that are oppressed or obsessed by a demon because of the minister. They hold them, however, because of their own flesh. Also that they don't disrupt anything. Because the devil would want to use their head to knock war. Now, you want to chase me out? Let me kill this one. Are you getting this? So pastors should protect their flesh. Now, the kind of deliverance we see is, number one, 99.9% of people that are fair, that they say, Oniokono, husband of heaven, which is not biblical also. Because the meaning of Okono means husband of heaven. And when you speak about husband of heaven, you are talking about Jesus. The Bible says Jesus is the chief bridegroom. So if I have Okono, it's a good thing. That means I have what? Jesus. So first of all, that word is out of illiteracy. Illiteracy made them call it Okono. Then if it were to be spiritual husband, now you should tackle spiritual husband, because spiritual husband is in the spirit. Why are you now flogging me? Why are you flogging me? Some of you now, you are just knowing, and you wish you can just rewind back and give some people a slap, because they flog hell out of you. Why are you flogging me? How would a church, they'll now gather people that have muscle, they'll now share broom to them. Some, they give them marijuana. You know this leaf of marijuana? Yes, those of you that are saying yes, I see experience in your eyes. They give them marijuana. Imo, kimo, kumagbodojo. My God. Can you imagine? See the song. The song is even very stupid. And the Kenitoba Deru. What? That means they're already blaming you for being possessed. How is it my fault that I'm possessed? They'll not stay around you. The people that say that Daduro, Toriolua, some of them sleep with people's husband, sleep with people's wife. They now carry broom. Fear. The more you shout, the more they feel as if the demon is reacting. You that you are feeling that they are reacting. Come and kneel down. Let's share broom. Let me call some people that are muscular. Let me call like Ola, Solo. Who again? This black guy has muscle. And me. Let's surround you. And if you will not manifest here. How is deliverance done? Deliverance should be, you must first of all be a spirit that subjects the other spirit. That's why the 7 sons of Sceva, they went and they attempted deliverance and they ended up being delivered. My spirit must subject the spirit because I am light, that should be darkness. Then the spirit reacts. Then the weapons of our warfare must be spiritual. That's why sometimes, should I go further? Have you ever seen me doing like this? And the people close their eyes and they are following me. You don't see. But while I'm doing like this, I am pulling them by the Spirit of God. There's a rope connected. You don't see. They close their eyes and they are going there. They are surprised. And I turn back again. They close their eyes. You don't see. Because the weapons of our warfare are what? They are not carnal. The kind of flog people are flogging you here. Some of you, they even pay. They pay. They say bring 150 for deliverance. There's no reference to broom deliverance in the Bible. There's no reference to cane deliverance in the Bible. There's no reference or sacrifice in deliverance. Christians, why have you become this foolish? My people perish for lack of knowledge. He said because they have rejected knowledge. So they say they want to deliver you. They told you to buy sweet, 1 pack. Biscuit, 1 pack. Fanta, 1 pack. Banana, 1 pack. Garden egg, 1 pack. Apple, 1 pack. Issue, that's why some of these prophets, they're fresh. Inside the 1 pack, they now pick 3. They now put it there. Where is it? Why didn't you ask? See, for my deliverance to be complete, where are the rest? Where are the rest? They say, we need the blood of a goat. If you need the blood of a goat, let's go to abattoir. By the time they kill the goat, we'll put cup, we'll take blood. They will never tell you to put cup and take blood. They'll tell you, bring a goat. One of my sons was telling me that he sacrificed the goat. The God he sacrificed it to is the belly of the priest. The guy will just get home and tell the wife, high five, baby, high five. As soon as he's sure, I'm coming. When I'm through, there's a manga there. And they eat, then they give you the blood. And they use it to put on your head, put on. And you, because you are so foolish, you have believed that, yes, share this thing to them. Let them know. We know this stuff. By the time you want to argue with me, come with the Bible. Come with the Bible. The New Testament, where Jesus requests for another sacrifice. Some of you, they say they want to deliver you. Then they carry you to riverbank. With all the, then you hold the sacrifice and tie white clothes. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? You don't know. Don't you know that you too, you are Eleye? Don't you know that you too, you are Agbebo? That's sorcery. That's sorcery. You tie white clothes. They carry you head to the river. Then you say that some people, they deliver them in the river. How do they deliver you in the river? They flog you in front of Mami Water. They say, Onio, call me. They flog, Egbe. Those Egbes are wicked. They are flogging you. They didn't come to help. My God, are you learning something here? One of my daughters texted me and said, I've learned a lot. I'll tell you how it is. It's a lie. It's a scam. It's a scam. You need to see how those woli are baiting people. As if all the blemish is here. All the blemish is here. The sponge will just be passing here. They will not be speaking in tongue. Tongue that fire you and that tongue. All the sin this lady commits that is causing her is here. Then when they get to the back, they refuse to go. Then by the time they want to wash the feet, have you seen how they wash the feet? Because it's not a vocal point. But by the time they want to wash, we're in charge. Only boys understand what I'm saying. Kojo. I will not die. Kojo is angry. Now Kojo is looking at the forehead of Suleiman. Veins outside. Kojo is angry. They bend like this. If you are really in the spirit, you don't need to bend. Stand like this and be doing it. Lie! Deliverance. They say they are delivering you. They are delivering you from the spirit of water. They pack sacrifice, Fanta and everything. They now take it to Olokun. Think. They now take you and the sacrifice to Olokun. They now get there. Olokun. Atiwao. Kobale Pinya. And Olokun does not even know what is going on. Olokun says, Pinya, I do. I'm innocent. Then they bring sacrifice. Hey boy, how would you call a man of God a man of God? And the person is carrying sacrifice. And some of you were okay with that. Thank God for R.O in your life. You carry sacrifice. Then on Sunday, he preached on the altar. Then you two are saying, right on, sir. After all those sacrifices. See, your pastor is Fade Yoloro. Some is Obatala Obatasa. Obataku. Are we there? So that deliverance, that is not subjection of your spirit to my spirit, is a scam. Baiting you for deliverance is a scam. That's why they charge you for money. Huh? Flogging you is a scam. That if you notice, if you have money, you are not a witch. As in you have good money. As in good money, you are not a witch. If you are giving them naturally, you are not a witch. But the moment your parents are poor and you are fair, you go collect. Try get money. What number are we? Can we go deeper? Can we go deeper? The tables are shaking already. Some of you, how many of you are learning something new? Seriously. Good. This one, I want to go very deep. The fourth one, book prophet. Book prophet. Let me write it as it is here. Spiritual things are not static. Okay, let me explain book prophet first. Book prophet are prophets that learn work. They go to, my dear, come. If you are somewhere now, you will collect your deliverance like this. With this, your skin. So, she's a prophetess. They come. They learn work for some time. By the time they learn work, they know some of the books she's using. They know how she does some things. Then to replicate it and go and start up their own church. They were not called. How many of you have seen them? And you have heard about their story? They learn work. Very common with Sele. And some of all these CSC people. And some of all these people, they don't even really bear the name CSC. But they operate like that. This Yoruba area. They learn work. They were not called. They didn't really have an encounter. And the angel Gabriel stand and say, I am Gabriel that stand in the presence of the Lord. I've sent you to start up a church. This is the name. this is the place. No! They learn work. So when they learn work, it becomes a business center. Then they get those books. I'm telling you the fact. I grew up with all those books. How to pass exam. They have it. How to have a husband. They have it. That's why a lady can just call a man and say, buy me a car. The guy will just stand up. I don't even know why I won't buy you this car. But I just want to buy you to shut you up. I will just buy you to shut. Which kind of car you want? He say, I want Lexus 470. I will just buy. I don't even know why I'm buying you. The guy, they bought two. You know those bottles weighing across? He did inside. I don't know why they buy you this car. And the lady say, on it. How much is the car? In all your doings, avoid prophets that use book. Sorcery. Let me read it how I said it here. Let me teach you something about spiritual things. Spiritual things are not static. A can mean A today, while tomorrow A will mean Z. A can mean A today, while tomorrow A will mean Z. Like for example, let me teach you how we interpret tongues. When I'm interpreting tongues, I am not listening to what you are saying. I am listening to what God is saying. So that's why somebody can say, ba, 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 ba. And I'll say, God say, you are from Imo State. He will still repeat the same, ba, 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 ba. This Imo State is from, ba, 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 ba. And this person is only saying, ba, 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 but my interpretation is different. Do you understand now? Because it's from the Spirit. Are you getting what I'm saying? How do you know prophet that use book? They tend to use the same solution for the same sickness every time. So this one will say, I want to prosper. They'll say, you use soap, good luck soap, St. Michael oil, St. Gabriel perfume, send this one, they mix it, they bait. Then this one come for good luck again, they do the same thing. This one come for good luck again, they do the same thing. This one, it's a lie. They read it in a book. I know those books. I grew up knowing them. And some of you that are very close to some of these prophets, you have seen those books. It means you are not inspired by the Spirit of God. The Spirit of God hardly repeats. I think the cases of repetition in the Bible was Elijah crossing the water. And Elisha came with the mantle of Elijah. This is how my father Elijah, and crossed it back. Making reference to the father. Is that not so? And he crossed. That means with the mantle, the water is seeing him as the father. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Check how Moses crossed the Red Sea. He crossed the Red Sea. The sea parted. Is that not so? Joshua came to cross the Red Sea. He didn't, another river. It did not part. The water remained. But the Bible said the water never passed their knee. The moment the ark of God came inside, the water never passed their knee. So they walk and they cross the river. Guess what? Elijah and Elisha, it parted. Right? When Jesus came, what happened? He walked on it. Are you seeing how the things of the Spirit are? Not the same thing. When the prophets give you the same soap, give this one the same soap, give this one the same soap, give this, scam. 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 I'm not against spiritual works. Sometimes God enable you to do something spiritual. It happened yesterday here. Somebody called me and said, this lady's dying. This lady's dying. So person, she's dying. Help. I was hearing noise. He'll be watching live now. I was hearing the noise. Person is dying. And I said, what happened to her? By the time I said, what happened? God opened my eyes. I saw a cup. I saw a pinch of salt. I saw Psalm 3. I said, okay, rush, leave there. Go and get a cup. Pour water. put a pinch of salt. I said, read Psalm 3. And he read it. I said, give it to her. She drank it. She stopped crying. The pain disappeared immediately. After the pain disappeared, she slept off. And they sent me a text. And they said, man of God, he said, the God of Prophet Sinbo is the God I will follow. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Who they lie and I say witness there or yo? He said, the God of Prophet Sinbo is the God I'll follow. And that was how we ended the conversation yesterday. I'm coming, give me a moment. Aha, sing. Aha, come. Come to this. Have you seen it? She has slept off, relieved.
God of Sinbo is fire. Glory be to God.
Simple. So that's the spiritual walk. Do you understand? That's the spiritual walk. I am not against spiritual work if God enable you immediately. But when another person comes and says, Papa, I'm there. I say, go and get cup and get salt and get Psalm 3. Lie. Now it has become mechanical. Let me tell you why God hates it. God called it divination and sorcery. Why God hates it is the first one was given by the Holy Spirit. And God wants you to always depend on the Holy Spirit. He said, he will teach you all things. So if you just follow what I've done and you continue like that, that means you have pushed the Holy Spirit aside. Then it's divination. It is what? Pure sorcery. So A will not mean A tomorrow. Now, let me tell you how those prophets that use book do. Please give me your attention. Are you ready? Prophet that use book, number one, you hear them telling you to call some names 3 times. Huh? They can tell you, see this soap I'm giving to you, call this so-so name 3 times. Then I say, Holy Maratha, Holy Maratha, Holy Maratha. Sometimes they say, call it 7 times. Holy Maratha, Holy Maratha, Holy Maratha. Some of you don't know. Whilst they were calling those names, they were summoning the fallen. That's why some of those things you get results. They are summoning the fallen. And when they are summoning the Acts 19:19, Acts 19:19. So they are busy summoning the fallen. They make you repeat it 3 times, sometimes 21 times. All those prophetic time, they make you repeat it. This is a book of sorcery. That's the origin of Book of Solomon. Book of Enchantment of Solomon. Book of Enchantment of David. 7 Book of Moses. If you type it on internet, you see them. Acts 19:19. Can we read together? Many of them also which used curious art brought their books together and bound them before all men. And they counted the price of them and found it 50,000 pieces of silver. Those were the books they were bound in. How many of you have studied about Enoch, the history of Enoch? The Bible says the sons of God, one of the sins that the sons of God did was they taught them art. So they wrote some of these things in manuscript. These things will produce results. But have you noticed it has repercussion? You see that you see the prophets very poor and he must need to cut corner to be rich. Or when they grow up, their hand will be shaking like this. Or when they grow up, they'll be blind. Or all their sons will be olosho. All their daughter will be olosho. All the sons will be ole. Because when you summon spirit, there are implications. When you summon spirit without the presence of God, there are implications. When they come, mostly when they are falling, it's a give and take. Do you know that no matter, this church is very small, right? It's hardly bad. It's highly impossible that at least a year you will not see 3 weddings in this church. How many of you have noticed it? This year now, We have had 2 already. One earlier, the second one today. And by the grace of God, we are still looking forward to 2. They are here. I'm not speaking by faith. The one we know, they are here. We are still looking forward to 2. Not you, you are not responsible yet. And they are here. Now, if you notice these churches that I'm talking about, mark something. Number 1, they don't marry each other. They never marry each other. They don't marry each other. Why? That spirit of divination that they've enchanted on each other. Number 1, it makes all the brothers flirt because it has implication. It has implication. When you are calling all those demons and they are telling you that they are angels of God, it will make the brothers flirt and the sisters flirt. So the brothers of the church have nakanaki all the sisters and they have passed them to each other. Some of you that escaped from that church, you know it's narrow escape. And how you escape, you did like this, the sisters. They did like, they didn't even zip up. They use iron pants. I took my wife to one. And my wife began to ask me, say, how did these small children shake that their nyash? Abinibi ability. You be Kennedy. It's advertisement. Sometimes even me, I'll be looking at, is there no bone in this bomb? They'll not do line. They know, they'll be winch. They'll not do line to offering. When they do the line, they are getting there. You see a small girl reversing. Reverse. Then when they see a newcomer, like me, you know I have money. Come. Let's say you are me, and you have money. The idiot, where I was born into, the idiot will now dance. When they now get to me, I don't know, maybe my wife even notice. They're not bend down low. All the strength is in my side. And myself, I'll not be looking. I'll not be trying to do as if I'm in the spirit. A man's eyes can never live there. I'll not be. They'll not go forward. They'll be saying, thank God. They'll not reverse again. Then the bomber will not be like, if you want to know that, let me take you to my village. You see wonder that small children do with their bombo. Small, I mean 14, 15, 16. 14, 15, 16. The last time we went, I don't even know where the Mitokwe was seated, but I don't trust anybody. I only trust myself. If you notice, they don't marry each other because everybody has the tape of the rest people in their hand. Everybody you have twetwe. The rest people know who you have twetwe. So they have told each other. Then they go outside. They marry from outside and come. Then the ladies in those churches, from there, them too will need to go outside and marry and come. Let me tell you my story. It's on me. When I finished school, my father said, there's a lady I kept for you. You must marry her. You must. So I gave her the phone, speak to mama. He said, so where are you from? My wife said, Kogi. He said, Kogi! I know all those things. I said, Daddy, Kogi is Yoruba. He said, is there Yoruba in Kogi? I thought they attacked by Igbira. I said, there's Yoruba. So my wife spoke Yoruba to my father. My father said, oh my God, Yoruba. He said, no. After I said, no, we ended the call. He said, no, go and marry this girl. This girl, she has been prepared for you. I called him one day. I said, next 2 weeks is our introduction. He said, with who? I said, that my wife, that my girlfriend. He said, Kogi! I said, Daddy, I've made my choice. That's why never ever date a man that cannot stand up to the family. If not, you are dating a boy, a man. And you will regret it. It's not as if the girl is not presentable. But for the reason that I know our origin there, I was already pointing fingers. But I say, let me reserve my comments. It's not prophecy. By the time we did introduction, my father said, but how about this girl? This good girl. Before you see, I print wedding card. I sent it to my father. He said, "She omo kogi enoni. Mi omo koto where? Moti sote mi sha where?" I did not answer him. He came. I did my wedding. I left. 2 years after my wedding, I realized that some of my family members have the same girl. The same girl. They have flogged her as they have taught her lesson. They have taught her lesson. It got to a point, she opened her mouth and she was telling me. Then later, she became my father's concubine. I didn't want to say that, but my wife is already looking at me. You will not finish the story. That's why I said it, so that she'll be happy. She became my father's concubine. I now began to look. So imagine if I'm going to the dining in, then somebody is in the house. Then I just rush that. Hey, what's it happen there? My mind will not be settled. Then sometimes I'll just be looking at Okiki. Do you know that if your younger brother or your elder brother sleep with your wife, it's still the same DNA? You don't know? So, the same DNA of the child of Busola is the same with Moses. It's the same with Pastor Eli. That's why when the man died, they can take the younger brother and test the DNA. So by the time I still do the DNA test, I'll still be thinking. Then I'll be looking at Diola. Then she just go to school like now and have A, B, plus. And I begin to think, I'm not as brilliant as this. You begin to suspect everything. All those things, before we digress, they have implication. These are sorceries. When you look at book for Ishegun, they are sorceries. They are sorceries. They are giving different people the same thing to do. The same soap, the same mixture, the same Saint Michael, the same Saint Gabriel. They are sorcery. And it begins to affect you. Because the devil will never give you anything for free. If you notice people that are static with those kind of church, you see that they don't marry. Or they marry, they complain about their wedding, their marriage. Or the boys just become so useless. And most times the boys will go outside and marry down. How many of you know what I'm saying? Very simple. Then you see the men, the implication will bounce on them. They will give birth to children. Olosho, Ole, useless. Then they'll be trying to package their children. Guess what? Have you ever noticed that most of the things they do for you, they don't do it for their children that is your age? I give you an assignment. Go and ask their children those questions. Come. Ask your children that, has your father ever brought you outside 12 a.m. like this and tell you to naked that he wants to bathe you? What would they tell you? No. As your father, why you need to bathe your pikin? I think you should do deliverance there. That's irritating. No. As your father, ever done some of this ishe? I mean the real ishe? No. They don't do it for them. Oh. The children can bathe soap here and there. But if you check the children's real bathing soap, the reason why they don't use all those soap they pound, and they do, is because, the reason why they use it is because their father is broke. If the father has money, what do they use? They use a dough. They use normal soap. You are busy, you are bathing soap. You are bathing all manner. I give you this thing now. Go and meet their children. Ask them, what are you bathing in the house? You get a revelation. All those things that you were, then I used to pound it. We are in number 4, right? Have you learned a lot already? Number 5, which is the last one. Payment for prayer work. Payment for prayer work. I said something, I said prayer work to an extent may not be wrong if it's inspired by God. God can tell you, put this leaf and this leaf together and do this. But when it's every time, you're always mixing leaf. You are Babalawo, not the prophet. Then payment for prayer work. Payment is always wrong and against God. Hear me. Payment is always wrong and against God. Sometimes God may inspire you to do some things for the church. Sometimes God may tell you, give church this, but it's not exchange for prayer. It's not exchange for prayer. Can I shock you? How many of you were here on Sunday while I called Kim Nashara, Kemi, and I called her and I spoke to her ear? This is what I told Kim. I said, Kemi, go and buy Mama something. Because I saw it in the vision. The reason why I was open to tell Kemi is because she's my daughter and she knows over the years. If you're a newcomer, I'll not tell you that kind of thing. I say, go and buy Mama something. I say, buy her food. I saw pizza. By the time I got home, Kemi sent me a message that there was one time Sumi and Esther bought Mama pizza. Abi Mama put it on her status that she had it in mind that she wants to buy pizza. So I was just passing and I picked it by the realm of the Spirit. Sometimes it may not carry gain. Sometimes it may be a seed for when she's pregnant. Are you getting what I'm saying? Now, understand the uniqueness. Buy Mama pizza. She already planned to buy Mama pizza before I spoke. So the spirit now is what? 1. It is high stupidity for you to think I can't buy my wife pizza. Obviously, you know we are past that level, you know. Let me tell you what I told Paul Kuz in my office. I told Paul, I said, go and buy. Were you here when I was asking Paul that, do you say you buy anything for church? And he said, I'll see you later. How many of you remember when I was presenting? I got to the office, I said, I saw in the rock, thank you. I wrote it here. Come, who? Come. You can read, right? Are you sure? Okay. I wrote it here. You can't see? Huh?
Paul, buy fan.
Have you seen it? So I say, Paul, buy fan. Is that not so? I wrote it down. While I was fasting inside, I saw Paul buying fan. And by the time we got to the office, I asked him what he was reluctant to get. And he told me everything. He understood everything. Then I said, buy fan. He said, you see, I've been thinking of buying fans since, but I've been delaying. Are you seeing that the spirit is one? Sometimes those things you delay, they hold on to your next level. So Paul saw it before it was said. Kemi saw it before it was said. Not that I want to pray for you. Give me 30,000. Let me pray for you. 30,000. 30,000. You want me to fast? He said yes. Make it 70,000. My fasting is 40,000. My fasting is 40,000. Last. You are a foolish person if you have ever done that. Or you were a foolish person. Scam! It is scam. Payment is always wrong. That's why Gehazi was cursed. Payment is very dangerous. Hey, should I teach you something? Those of my sons that are into ministry you are watching, let me teach you something very powerful. Very powerful. Oh yeah, come, let me use you as an example again. So come, just stand here like this. Let me stay down. Stand like this. See? No, face here. Uh-huh. You see her? Are you seeing her very well? The Bible says, he himself bore our infirmities. So when every time I stand in presence of her, and I'm about to pray for her, I become Jesus. Do you understand? I become the Spirit. So now, each time I lay hands on her, I bear her infirmities. If she's struggling with womanizing, manizing. If she's struggling with anything, automatically, I lay my hands, I carry it. That is why one of the deepest secrets of a pastor is when they get to the office of deliverance service, they go, they pray, they worship God. Sometimes, my wife does not understand, but I'll tell you now. I may be going home, I'll play some songs just to worship God so that that energy can leave. Remember, she didn't pay. Oh. Like, after this Sunday, the next Sunday, I'll be laying hands. When I'm going, I'll play those songs to relieve me of what I've collected from people. Do you know why he can relieve me? Because I did collect money. If you like, play any song in this life. If you collect money from them for deliverance, that thing stays in your family. It does not go. That's why their children are useless. They get to a certain level in their life, they don't progress. Instead, they start coming down. Then they begin to say, have you heard some of all those prophets? Anything that make a prophet collect money, he's what? Scam. Fasting for people. Soap. When I need money, I'll tell you, I say, come and give me money. How many of you have seen me doing it? I say, give me money. But one of my daughters told me something. If you carry cobweb in your head, there's a price. If you kick ground like this, they'll call Woli. There's a price. There's a price for stupidity. Deliverance. If you have bad dream, there's a price. So the prophet kept buying cars. Kept developing. Most of them, they are not even called by God. They learn work. When they learn the work, they have these books. They study it. Then when you come, that's why they can't look at you and go deep inside prophetic. Because everything they've ever known is from a book.